What up, world? My name is Justin Case, and I'm back with a very special video for you today. I'm not here to waste your time, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Listen, the first thing I want to give you is a channel update, man. Look, I'm very, very appreciative to everybody who has stopped by this channel, everybody who has subscribed, because we just hit 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel, and I am very proud of every single one of those subscribers. These are all organic. There is no promo. There's no nothing. This is all genuinely people finding my channel or me, sharing it in a video or something like that. No promo. Not me asking people to subscribe and like and comment, none of that. These are genuinely people who have found the channel and like the channel, period. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I want to build this up extremely genuinely. I want people to hear that want to be here. You feel me? So I appreciate y'all so much. Um, Listen, I have so many things coming to the channel as far as upgrades and updating things and just making everything flow a little bit better, better presentation for y'all. All of that, I promise, all of it is on the way. I'm not playing no games when it comes to this content creation all across the board. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. I'm not playing no games, man. This is this is my time. I'm finna go crazy with this. Just stay tuned, you feel me? Stay tuned. So, this is another episode of the weekly show, the Untitled Weekly Show. I know I said I was gonna have the show's title this episode, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait on that. No lie, I'm gonna wait because I want to have all the graphics and everything ready for it. I wanna roll it out the right way. So that's what it is, man. That's where we are with the channel. I don't think there's no real other updates I need to give y'all right now, but hey, we doing something, man. We progressing. I don't care if it's little by little, but man, we had almost 30 subscribers in the last 30 days. So if that's one subscriber per day, I'm like I said, I'm very proud of that, man. I'm not gonna lie to you because this is not easy. This is not easy. You feel me? So, first topic we gonna get into today: the Xbox Game Pass increased pricing. Man, this kind of has been a huge controversy across the board. I've seen so many people talking about this, and I kind of don't know how to feel. On one hand, I get it, right? We kind of should have expected this from the moment they said that they were not focusing on consoles anymore. They lost the console war, bro. We know this already. This is a factual thing. That's not anybody's opinion. It's factual that Xbox lost the console war. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's to me, the way I look at it is the same way that when Pepsi realized that they could not compete with Coca-Cola. So instead of trying to compete with Coca-Cola, they just went off and did their own thing and implemented the Pepsi brand of drinks as we know it into their restaurants that they acquired so that they do not compete with Coca-Cola at all. Like Pepsi refuses to compete with Coca-Cola at all. Xbox is taking that same approach. They're taking uh the Uber, Lyft, and Instacart type of approach where they don't own the service or product they're selling anymore, right? So now it's gonna go to cloud gaming. It's gonna go to like how the ROG Ally Xbox collaboration has gone, how the MetaQuest and Xbox collaboration has gone. It's gonna start moving into those things, right? And of course, if they're more focused on cloud gaming and apps that are, native on various devices, they're gonna raise their subscription prices. We kind of knew this already. It's the same thing with Netflix raising their subscription prices what seems like every 3 months. You feel me? It's the same thing. So I understand, but at the same time, $30 to get the entire experience is kind of steep, right? Especially for like a subscription type of thing that you just want to set and forget. I don't know, man. That don't really look like a good look. I don't think that's gonna work out the way that they planned, right? I know for a fact that the diehard Xbox fans or PC gamers are gonna probably keep that subscription. Um, but the general public, they're gonna go for the lower tier subscription. That's just how, that's just how people are. That's just what I mean. Look at the economy, man. It's not easy out here. $30 a month is kind of expensive. When you tally that up, per year, that's not cheap, and man, that's kind of rough. It was a 50% increase. Okay, wait, let's get that clear. A 50% increase is what we're talking about here. Um, but again, it was kind of expected with the way that everything has been going with Xbox. And again, I'm not even talking about the quality of the service either. Like, I don't feel like it won't be worth the $30. I'm almost entirely sure that Microsoft and Xbox are going to do everything in their power to make sure that that $30 um is spent, extremely well. It will get you a good amount of things, and especially in the beginning, right? Let's say the first year of the service being that price, they're gonna make sure that everybody has nothing to say about it. You feel me? Like nothing but good things to say about it. And I'm even sure of how things used to work back in the day, right? Like, I don't know if some of y'all are even old enough to remember this, but um, there were ways to get Xbox Live for free back in the day, during the Xbox 360 days and during the Xbox One days. There were different ways, the rewards programs, creator programs, stuff like that, that you were able to, you know, what is the word I'm looking for? Different achievements and little quests and missions that you can do per the Xbox itself, not in game, but per the Xbox. You would complete some kind of task, and it would get you X amount of points, and then you could turn those points into, an Xbox Live gift card or something. I'm sure they're gonna have some kind of system like that. The same way PlayStation just had their star system, which I used so much, man. I use that to purchase games, pay for my monthly subscription. I use that a lot, and they just recently stopped it. I think back in July or August or something like that. I still have some points available. It's not enough to use it on anything anymore now that they've shut it down. But I still have like very few points available. It was still taken away from my stars to pay for my subscription on PlayStation this month. So, and I'm telling you, yeah, it's wild, bro. $30 is kind of expensive, but I'm sure it's gonna be worth it. It's not gonna go to waste. It's not something that, whoever if you're buying that tier, it's not gonna go to waste for you. You feel me? But yeah, that's where we are with that, man. The next topic. This is something that I told a couple of my friends that this was going to happen before it happened, and sure enough, it happened. Call of Duty and Activision, they did so much. They did so much talking about how they had new systems for cheaters and how cheaters weren't going to be able to, they were working on it, fixing the systems and this, that, and the third, right?
Oh, okay. Well, Chad, as you can see, the anti-cheat didn't get updated.
Total BS, bro. Absolute BS, because there are already cheaters in the Black Ops 7 beta, and I called it. But this is it to again, it's to be expected, right? They have been doing this every single year since at least 2020 that I can remember. There have been hackers in the beta every single year. There have been hackers when the game comes out on release day during the early access period. You know how you can get the deluxe edition and you get 3 days early to play. There were hackers in the early pre-order bonus, you know what I'm saying? Like That's how bad it is. It's always been a thing and it's always going to be a thing. At this point, I'm convinced, and I've been saying this, I'm convinced that there are just straight up employees that are supposed to be working on the cheat, the anti-cheat, that are building the cheats. Like, that's the only way that this is possible. The only way that this is possible. And it has to be extremely lucrative. Like, think about, the CDL, the Call of Duty League. Think about all the people online who get paid from playing Call of Duty. So we know for a fact any advantage is very valuable to the people who use those type of antics, right? That's just what it is. So you can always expect there to be cheaters in Call of Duty or almost any first person shooter for that matter. It's very hard. Apparently, from what it seems like, from what we've been seeing from all these years and all these various first person shooter games, competitive first person shooter games, it never fails. There is always going to be some kind of exploitation, cheating, something. Even in I'm currently I am very determined to learn how to play Contractors Xville Zone on the Meta Quest. And there are cheaters in that game. I haven't experienced any yet, thank God. But for sure, I already know there are cheaters in that game. And it's like, how are y'all cheating on the Meta Quest, bro? Even if they're doing it on the PC version of the game, it does not matter. There are always going to be cheaters in first person shooters, bro. And that's just somebody like me who does not seek, I don't look for that stuff. The most I will do is use a pro controller. I love pro or elite controllers, whichever you call them, with the paddle back paddles. That's I use those, but that's about it. I don't use any kind of exploitation cheats or anything to have any kind of advantage. That's just it's just doing too much. It's like it takes the fun away from it. So I don't understand it, but I know, I like at this point, I know there are going to be cheaters, man. And that's just what it is. But I will say they have done a lot of things in game to kind of balance those things out. The way that the perk system works now, the way that even having the I think it's called overcharge or overclock, something like that, having that on various weapons and attachments and all of that, having that second level, right? It causes different reactions in game that you normally wouldn't have, and it creates more variables for the cheaters to one exploit but also have to deal with when they are cheating. So therefore I feel like they've balanced it out. Especially there are talks of a what is it called, like a rock paper scissors aspect of gameplay that they'll have in Warzone, meaning like if there's a Molotov thrown at you, you can use a what is it, a stun grenade to put out the Molotov, or different things will negate the effects of other things. If they bring that to Warzone, I feel like that not only will it cause more strategic and more tactical gameplay, but it'll also divert and cause too many variables for people to use, I mean to react to when it comes to cheating. But also, it's double-edged sword, because also that means there are more things for them to exploit. Just it's a weird thing. It's just like balancing in games. You can never truly balance weapons in a game like Call of Duty, because the moment you balance one gun, it throws it off compared to everything else you balance. Like, you will have to perpetually rebalance everything over and over and over. So like that's why I'm not a fan of balancing just like continually. Oh, there's a complaint from 4% of the community, so now we're gonna balance this one thing, and it's just weird. I like how it was back in the day. Black Ops 2 wasn't no balancing. It just is what it is. If something was overpowered, it was overpowered. You had to learn how to deal with it. Point blank, period. You know what I mean? So that's that. Excuse me. The next thing I want to talk about, Electronic Arts, EA Games. They have been, they have been making games since I was a kid, some of my favorite games back in the day, NBA Street, NFL Street. You know, I thought we would never get them games ever again after the way things have been going. I figured we were just never gonna get them again, right? But now it looks like we really aren't gonna ever get them again because EA Sports, well, not EA Sports, I'm sorry to say that, EA Electric Arts. It looks like we're never going to get them again now because Electronic Arts has just sold for $55 billion. I don't know what that means for, their games. There is no future. Like there's no path. They haven't announced like what's coming from this or anything. It's just that they are selling for $55 billion. I don't even care about none of the sports stuff because, like I said, we haven't got NFL Street, NBA Street in a long time. I don't even care, right? What I care about is Mass Effect and The Sims. Mass Effect was one of my favorite games on Xbox 360. I played so much that game and I just loved how like advanced it was at the time. The choices you were able to make, um, the decisions that would affect things in the future, being able to take your entire save file from Mass Effect 2 and carrying it on to Mass Effect 3. I believe those were the numbers, 2 to 3. I'm not sure, but whatever. All of those things were just like I loved them and I wanted more games to do those things, and we couldn't even get Mass Effect to continue doing that type of stuff. Mass Effect kind of fell to the wayside. Armageddon, I didn't even play, right? I wanted to play it. Then by the time, you know, I wanted to play it, I saw all the reviews and stuff and just negative talk about it. So I just never played it, right? Never played it. Whatever. It's cool. But now I don't think we're ever gonna get a good Mass Effect, bro. I don't think we're gonna get another Mass Effect because what is happening? What is happening? There's been no word as to like what the future of Electronic Arts and their entire catalog, like what is going to happen after this. That's kind of crazy to really think about because we've already seen this before with Sega and I can't even think of anybody else, but we've seen it. We've seen studios completely, not even just studios, publishers completely just disbanded and never to be seen again. So I hope that's not what's happening here, but that could be a huge possibility, but we'll see. And I mean, $55 billion that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. So, woo, that's some craziness. That's crazy. The next topic I want to talk about is the Steam Frame, like officially, unofficially being announced by ProTubeVR, right? ProTubeVR is a company that makes gun stock attachments for the MetaQuest and other, VR headsets, right? And what they did was pretty much on their newest attachment or newest accessory, whatever it is you want to call it, on their website, they have a drop down bar where you select, which type of device you're using. And in that selection, one of them is the Steam Frame. This is what used to be known as the Deckard, which is Valve's you know, next headset that's supposed to replace what was the Valve Index. Um it's been bubbling for a while now. It's been so many rumors. My boy Mateo 311 is the one who put me onto this a while back when it was just, still a project and, little mumbles and whispers were going on. So ever since then, I've been extremely hyped to see what they got going on and what they're about to bring to the market. But man, ProTube just kind of they let the beans spill. You feel me? The same way that one of the case companies for the iPhones, they kind of leaked the iPhone 17 a little early. it's the same thing. You know, companies make the accessories, and sometimes they don't necessarily like hide all of the promo materials and everything. It sometimes slip through the cracks. That's just what it is. But hey, at least we know now that the Steam Frame is the official name. It was kind of bubbling around that that was the name of the device, but now it's kind of like officially known, you know, to see companies like that who have inside knowledge let that slip like that. Yeah, that's the name for sure. The Steam Frame. So be on the lookout. That is coming very, very soon. And I can't wait, man. That is going to be a crazy, crazy device. Um, I think it's gonna be a little bit more expensive than the Meta Quest, but I totally understand that because the PCVR community, the things that they want and need out of a HMD, a head mounted display, is a little bit more than what the MetaQuest offers, right? They want more tracking, like hand tracking, face tracking, eye tracking, full body tracking, actually, you know, for VR chat, which I don't really understand. Can somebody in the comments please help me get and understand, like, what do you do in VR chat? Is that just it? Just go in there and talk to people or watch movies, or like, I don't really get it, man. I've played around with it a little bit, but not much because again, I don't really get it. But I'm interested to know, man, because the way people talk about it, I have seen videos of people who just they feel like they live a whole life in VR chat, bro. Like you don't leave VR chat. You on TikTok live all night in VR chat. So let me know because I want to know, man. But I think there are going to be a lot of features and things that the Steam Frame is going to be able to do that's going to draw new and, you know, um it'll be able to draw new people in, but also the people that already have the Steam, I mean the Valve Index or MetaQuest, and that's what they're using for the PCVR. I think it'll be a notable upgrade, you know, from what is currently on the market. But that being said, it will be a little bit more expensive than what we currently have because you know, that's what the tech, and the market, and everything. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive. I'm thinking it's gonna be about $1,200, 1200, $1,300, somewhere around there. You feel me? Um, but speaking of the Steam Frame, the next thing I want to talk about is the Quest 3 and 3S being used more than any other device on Steam for the PCVR. I actually did not know that people were still using the Quest 2 like as their primary device or their only device. I did not know that. I thought more people had Quest 3s or you know, like HTC Vives and Steam indexes. I did not know that that many people were still using the Quest 2 and that, you know, some people still like don't necessarily consider going from the 2 to a 3S necessarily a like a worthy upgrade. And that speaks volumes, man, because the Quest 2, I'm not sure when it came out, but that's a long running device. That's a very worthy device. If it went from that long, and is still being used as the number or was, excuse me, was still being used as the number one device for PCVR, impressive. I'm I kind of like to stay up to date with you know, current generation, you know, tech, like tech that I like to use. Like I still have an iPhone 16. I don't really plan on going to the 17 anytime soon. I was kind of excited for it before the announcement, but after, I really don't care. Maybe somewhere down the line, but really don't care. So you know, when it comes to stuff like the Quest though, I had no interest in getting the Quest 2. I knew for a fact I wanted the most up to date, you know, on the lineup. And listen, I did not know that the 2 that y'all love it so much. Let me put it like that. I did not know that y'all absolutely love that Quest 2 like that, man. And that says a lot. So I hope the Quest 3 has the same, you know, lifetime life cycle as the Quest 2 does. I hope that you know, people still use this device you know, 6, 7 years in its entirety. I believe we're only like 2, maybe 3 years in with the Quest 3 right now. I'm not sure, maybe going on 3 or something like that. But either way, anything more than about 5 years for a device is truly impressive. If you can have a device that works for 5+ years and it still works solid, you only have to buy it once, barely have to replace anything on it. That is a solid device. And I did not know that the Quest 2 was that good of a device, man, for it to still be, doing its thing like that. So very impressive. And that's good to know, man. Good to know. Cause it kind of put the standard. Right, that's where my thinking is the Quest 2 set a standard and a precedent for what everybody else was trying to work towards, right? And longevity wise, the fact that it could be standalone and PCVR, and again, people are still using it in 2025 as, their main device to play um games that are even still up to date. There are games that are coming out still to this day that are compatible with the Quest 2. So very impressive, man. Very impressive. I like that. I love that actually. Um because if they can do that with that device, that means they can do it with others. So same thinking with, like, say, the Meta Ray Bans. I feel like some of those devices, maybe not the Gen 1, um, right? But like the newest gen that just came out and the displays, I feel like those devices will have like true longevity to them. They're not just a device that you'll have and will only last you 2-3 years. Like, I hate stuff like that. I hate stuff like that. If I buy a product that cost a couple $100 and it might even have alternatives or other versions that I could go for, I don't want to buy something and then no, I hate that. So good on them, man. Very good on Meta for that. That's dope. But I think that's it for this episode. Like I said, real quick episode, man. Um, More so wanted to give y'all an update on the channel and everything we got going on. Like I said, we just hit 100 subscribers, man. That is amazing, bro. That's dope. Like I said, I don't really, I'm not asking people to go to the channel. Like, if you see it in one of my TikTok videos, you might come and find the channel, like, or whatever. But I'm not actively promoting, hey, go look on my channel, go look on my channel. Like, nah. So it's really dope seeing that, man. This is all organic over here. And listen, I truly love y'all. Thank you for coming to the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Yo.